Hi fans, I'm Amber Marsala and we're here at the 2016 Fighters Only World MMA Awards at the Venetian in Las Vegas. We had a chance to speak to some of the best fighters and entertainers in the business. Here's what they had to say. How does it feel to be hosting this year's MMA Awards?
It's going to be a lot of fun. This is my first time doing it and I'm excited for it. I think it's a little change of pace for me and I'm looking forward to a little challenge.
Good, I'm glad to hear it. So how did you feel when Cruz beat Dillashaw last month?
You know, I was a little surprised. I thought TJ was going to win for sure, and I was kind of prepping for that. But Cruz didn't miss a beat. He's obviously been taking his time off very seriously and hasn't seen any decline in his abilities. So good for him. He's going to get to fight me, and he's going to get punched in the face, and I'm going to beat him.
So I know you have like a 10-year rivalry with this guy. So you're definitely going to do round 3.
That's the plan. Round 3, and hopefully it doesn't go all 5.
Well, okay. So what are your thoughts on Conor McGregor, going from featherweight title and now going for the lightweight title?
You know what? More power to the guy. He's earned what he's got. I think he's hopefully been working on his grappling. I feel like that's a weak spot for him. And I know he's a very heavy hitter. He's a good athlete, but Dos Santos is a tough test. So don't want to doubt the Mystic Mac. He's been predicting some things. So, but Dos Santos, in my opinion, is the bigger, stronger guy.
Life after MMA has been spectacular. Yeah, very, very good. Focused a lot on acting and enjoying the entertainment industry on that side of things. The gym's doing well. Ryan's kind of picked up the mantle there, and not only continuing to compete, but becoming a bigger and more active role in the gym, which kind of lets me kind of run off and do my thing and continue to kind of pursue the acting roles. I've had an amazing journey through MMA in 14 years of fighting. I think my favorite fight is still the Tim Sylvia fight, coming off of a 13-month layoff and fighting a guy that was that tall, and that crowd that night in Ohio was remarkable. It was the biggest crowd at that time that we'd had, and that last 10-second countdown, I mean, that's something I'll never forget.
Great. How do you see the sport of MMA evolving in the future?
I think we're going through a little growing pains right now. There's issues with fighters, fighter pay, fighter treatment, ancillary rights, all these things that are going on in the sport. And I think there's going to be a correction. I think some of the things that have gone on have allowed traction for the other organizations like the World Series of Fighting and Bellator to gain a lot of the independent fighters that get dropped from Zuffa in the UFC or our free agents. We're seeing more free agency stuff go on now, and I think all those things are great for fighters. I think the more collective we become as a unit, as fighters, and kind of level the playing field a little bit is good for us. I think the movement to expand the Ali Act to incorporate MMA and all the things that it was originally formed for in boxing, to limit the power of promoters with coercive contracts and controlling the rankings and determining title matchups and all those sorts of things that are exactly the things that are going on in mixed martial arts now. And they're both individual combative sports. There's so much similarity, although the rules of engagement are different. I think that the Ali Act should be expanded to incorporate mixed martial arts too, and govern the promoting and the promoters in mixed martial arts.
And what are your thoughts on Conor McGregor?
Well, Conor's certainly been fun to watch outside of the cage, and no slouch inside the cage too. He keeps backing it up. So people can be critics and talk about, oh, he shouldn't have got the title shot and this and that, but he stepped up and took advantage of those situations and made the most of them. I was never one for the talk and all that stuff, and he's kind of taken that to a whole new level. But I think as long as he keeps backing it up, I don't think he's going to have an issue. What
do you think about how he, has the featherweight title and now he's going for the lightweight title?
That obviously historic, an historic fight with Dos Santos being one of two guys that held weight class, two titles in 2 different weight classes. Nobody's ever done it at the same time. And so if he's able to pull that off, it's going to be pretty remarkable.
What is the difference between being MMA champion and a boxing champion?
It's just, to me, it's the victory. And, Ronda was such a dominant champion. So the victory over that is, it maybe all my fights that I've had victories, some of them mean more because the actual opponent was that good. Or, it's not necessarily just the championship or the belt. So I feel like this is this is the pinnacle, of course, because she was the most dominant. So yes, this is a big moment.
So now, how's training going for Miesha Tate?
It's been good. I've been saying it's frustrating because that's how every training camp should be. So just one day at a time and learning one thing at a time.
So what is the most difficult part for you about preparing for a fight?
I want everything perfect, like right away. Just the patience to really let the training camp happen and let it fall into place. That's probably the hardest part because I want it to happen right now.
Makes sense. And just final question, do you have any advice for other women that want to get into MMA?
Patience. Your first fight's not going to be for money. You're going to be working very hard, get those basics down, and believe in yourself.
So how was your recent promotion trip to Australia?
It's a long plane trip, I'm not going to lie. As far as how I felt once I was there, not too bad. Obviously a little bit of jet lag. Much worse coming back. So I have a lot of respect for Mark and all the other guys that have to travel this far to fight. I think it's definitely a factor that has to be acknowledged. It's not something that fighters are going to sit there and go, I have it handled. No, it matters.
What are your thoughts on the fight with Mark Hunt?
I think Mark, I know what he brings to the table. He knows what I bring to the table. I think the one factor in the fight that's going to really attribute to me being able to get the fight to the ground where I feel like I'll have the greatest superiority advantage over him is that my striking has to be respected. There's people that I've knocked out that, that are good strikers. I've put them down with my hands. Fabricio Verdum, who doesn't generate as much power as I do, was able to drop him. So it isn't one of those situations where he can really just look to stop the shot. He has to look to stop my striking too and my taking down ability. Where I have a little bit easier of a job on defense, he's not going to take me down. I just have to worry about his hands.
Right. And what do you think you have to do this year to get a title shot?
A big win over Mark in Brisbane will be one step towards it, and another win over somebody else in the top 5. And I feel that I can close out the year with title talk, and definitely not out of the question.
Well, there you have it. We got some great interviews tonight with some incredible fighters. Go to our website at themoxieempire.com to see more of our videos. That's it for us. Thanks for watching.